everybody, we are back in the kitchen, and I know how difficult that is for the guys, especially this weekend. It's a tough weekend. It's Mother's Day and restaurants are closed, so we can't take mothers out. We just have to make do with whatever we have at home. We have a 5-course meal today. We'll make it very, very super simple. The meal will include some beans. This is black beans. And we're gonna have some rice. In fact, we'll mix the rice and the beans to make a special treat of rice. In that meal, we're gonna have some chicken. We'll go with some clean meat. You know, if you don't know what clean meat is, you can check Leviticus 11. It tells you the kinds of meats that you can eat. Don't eat scavengers, but you know what? Chicken's all right. And so we're gonna go with chicken. As long as you do it in moderation, you're cool. We're gonna do some onion, and we'll do some red cabbage. We'll saute these, and so that we have good vegetables. I like to make sure that we do kale salad. This is Lady D's favorite, and so we're gonna do kale salad as our main fresh plant food. That's not cooked or killed in the pot. It's fresh. So we're gonna go with this, and we know we will take care of all our vegetables. We have some cornflakes in this cup, and the chicken that we'll do will be breaded. And instead of Italian breadcrumbs, or we make our own breadcrumbs using cornflakes, and we will blend these, and we'll be good to go. You ready? Let's get started. Right. So we're gonna start with the red cabbage. One of the reasons, this is my favorite color, y'all. I can't wear this, but I love it. I just love to see this in my food. So anyway, we're gonna chop this real quick. All right. So we want it nice and long. It nice and long. Watch your fingers. Okay. Watch your fingers. Alright, so nice and long is how we like to have our red cabbage. Alright, now we come to the onions, and we're gonna chop them pretty much around about the same size, as the red cabbage. That kind of thickness would look neat. And we have 2 onions to kind of match the size of the red cabbage that we have. So here we go. And if you don't want your onion to make you cry, try to follow the lines. On the onion, and it won't make you cry. All right, so we have the 2 vegetables. We're not gonna add a drop of water in here. The red cabbage water, it has its own natural water, so that's enough water for what we're trying to do here. And the only other thing I'll have to do is add sea salt. I'll add a little bit of pure sea salt, and just throw a few grains of salt to season it. And we won't put any curry. If it was white cabbage, I would have done with curry, but red cabbage, I just want those 2 things. We have onion, we have red cabbage, and we just salt it. Yeah, so you keep mixing. And if you find clusters of cabbage, just kind of separate them. If you find clusters of onion, keep separating them. So we let it simmer for a little bit. This is what it looks like. These are the 2 ingredients. 2 ingredients sauteed in salt. And we try to Make sure that it just gets a little bit tender. I love to leave vegetables not fully done because you're gonna warm them up just before you serve, and the final cooking happens at that time. Remember, we had 2 cups of rice. I want you to remember 2 cups of rice, and they were this size, coffee mugs, whatever size of a cup you use, you know, you must use the same cup when it comes to the water for the rice. So 2 cups of rice, I like to put 3 cups of water to 2 cups. So if you're going to have, say, 4 cups of rice, then you have 6 cups of water. But we're just doing for few people, even if it will last us maybe a day or 2 after Mother's Day. So 2 cups of rice, wash it 3 times. Wash those 2 cups of rice 3 times so that you get out all of the starch, you know, so your rice will be separated. You know, it cooks better when you have washed it and removed the starch 3 times. I rinse it 3 times and make sure all the cloudy water is out. So now we have done that, and for the gentleman, I just use the rice cooker. It's called that for a reason, for making rice. So I just drop the washed rice, and I'm gonna come back and throw a little stick of thyme. I just need to rush outside and bring some thyme. We were talking about thyme with my brother-in-law in England, and he sent me a statement that since I call Rosemary and Agnes and all those nice names, he says next time I want you to put Timothy in your recipe. So we're gonna bring a guy called Timothy, and we're gonna add him in the rice, and thyme just facilitates for a good time, and it also helps for good flavor, very good flavor in rice. So thyme is the only addition, and a pinch of salt, a little bit of butter, so your rice can have a little buttery taste as you eat it. A little bit of butter to your comfort level. All right. There's our guy. We have introduced Mr. Timothy. Timothy joins the party here, and we're gonna just drop a few branches of thyme. It's springtime, you know. You can tell our thyme is also flowering. Hey, flowers and all, jump in. They make the party really good. And let me tell you, Lady D is still upstairs, but as soon as this rice is cooking and our guy Thyme here does the trick, she can smell it all the way from upstairs. Thyme is gives you a good time. Yeah, I don't like to cook rice together with the beans. I like to mix them at the end so that the beans, because I like black beans or red kidney beans. When you mix them with the rice, at least they won't paint the rice. I like my rice to continue to look white, okay? White. My wife and I stick together like white on rice. My wife and I always keep our beans pre-cooked. So we're just kind of sauteing them in here. So, beans are ready. How do I know? I don't like for them to break. You don't want to move the spoon around and squish them. We don't want to do that. They need to maintain their shape, just like the rice maintains its shape. Cool. We'll mix these in a heartbeat. We're going to move on to our chicken. All right. Just before I do the chicken, let me make sure the salad is in the refrigerator. The reason why we like this bag, it's our favorite bag. It comes with practically everything that we would need to add. We do grains, and these grains here are sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds. So the sunflower seeds, and then there are cranberries. So that's what makes this salad unique. rich, delicious cranberries, the sunflower seeds. My mother-in-law used to grow sunflowers. So the easiest flowers for me to give to my wife are sunflowers. They are inexpensive, way cheaper than roses. And they carry a lot of meaning in our family. All right, so we got rid of sunflower seeds and raisins. Actually, they're called craisins because they are made out of cranberries. Right, so that's how we make the salad. Then you toss it, mix it, and we're good and ready. So I'm just going to refrigerate this. So let's progress. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. Come back to the chicken. All right, now we come to Michael's chicken. This is my signature chicken. So we take the chicken. What we had initially were drumsticks. They were all drumsticks, but I debone. I removed the bone from the drumsticks so that I have a number of pieces like that. Okay, so I left one piece just so that you can see. I have my razor sharp little knife here, and I just make an incision in the drumstick. Then the rest is done by way of kitchen shears. So all I'm doing is just shaving the meat off of the bone. Avoid the muscle. Unlike people eating Michael's chicken, worrying about the bone, or worrying about cartilage or muscle. All right, so what you're witnessing here is my deboning secret. It's out. Thought if I had to tell you, I would kill you, but it looks like you just have to be generous. Right, so you remember the cornflakes? We just threw them in the blender, and our chicken is going to be breaded chicken. Breaded by these nice cornflakes. This is one of our favorite cereals, so we always have it. So I'm not gonna make noise and turn this thing on and irritate you, but basically we're going to crush this to crumbs, and it will be part of the editing. Chicken is right here, as you remember. All right. So I just crushed them, chopped them, tiny little pieces. Not necessarily making them all the way powder, but I added some zesty Italian salad dressing. I added a little bit of milk and a little bit of poppy seed salad dressing. Just because I'm trying to get our meat to marinate, and I'm not doing this overnight. This is a very, very quick process for me. All right. In fact, let me get some tongs, so I can mix this around just to make sure that all the meat is creamy. And the reason why I want it to be creamy is because I'm gonna add spices, and I want those spices to stick. Okay? And so we're not doing this overnight. Like I said, we're not marinating it overnight. You can do this and start this process overnight, and by the time you wake up tomorrow to do the recipe, it's nicely marinated, but you're not losing anything. This is a very fast process. Another thing I like to do is add a little bit of honey. I add a little bit of natural honey, real bees honey. So you can add some honey. Now we start adding our spices, and I always make sure this girl gotta be there. Rosemary. Yeah. So we welcome rosemary into Michael's chicken. This is fresh rosemary from the garden. I encourage you to have your own bush of rosemary. You never know when you need it. We don't overdo it. We don't put too much of it. but good to have it fresh. This process here is rather fast because, you know, when you throw in your favorite spices, then you are no longer doing Michael's chicken, you're doing your own chicken. So I'm using our favorite spices. One thing that we always try to do is some oregano leaves. Oregano is pretty good on chicken. We throw in a little bit of that. And what's chicken without curry? You gotta curry your chicken. There has to be your kind of curry, whether you like it mild or you like it hot. But if you're gonna spice it up, make sure you have variety, because variety is the spice of life. So that's some curry. That's some curry for you. So we've curried it, and you know what I need? I need garlic. We're gonna add some ginger. We will do this gingerly. And then after we add ginger, let me see, I did so always rotate your spices so that you don't, this is Italian seasoning. So I love Italian seasoning. Drive an Italian car. I love Italian clothes, and I love Italian seasoning. Right. Okay, but then you gotta make sure that, you know, it's always good today and tomorrow. So we put some turmeric in there. Turmeric is not just very good antioxidant, but beautiful spice on chicken. Looks nice. Good. And then before we paprika it, because chicken must never look white. You know, it's not appetizing when it's just white. I know it's white meat, but you know, it's always nice if you spice it up a little bit. So before we paprika it, I want to make sure that we add our breadcrumbs, we add our cereal. Yeah, so we put this generously, and as if that's not enough. Okay, so we emptied everything from the blender. I used about half a cup of that. Then I did about 1/8 of a cup, I think. You know, this is not a big dish. My glasses are not that big. See how small this dish is? And that's flour. I just put some flour in there to make sure that if the breadcrumbs are struggling, the flour helps it to just bind and be ready to get cooked. So you can bake this if you feel like baking it. You can drop it in oil if you eat chicken. I'm sure you eat baked chicken from the oven, and I'm sure you eat fried chicken, depending on how much oil you use. That's up to you. Just be careful. You know, that's the downside of meats. Sometimes they can be oily, and that fat can mess up your heart. So be very judicious with your spices, with your oils. All right, here we go. It's sizzling. Once you have flipped it, you turn it over, then you good and ready to cover it. Do this whole process while it's open and becomes crispy. covering it, make sure that the heat goes into the center of your chicken. Okay, we're back to our rice. Our rice is ready, and we click the warm button. Now, gentlemen, I wanted to make sure that we go the easy route. Like I said, if you have to make rice, your rice cooker is the best way to go, because it just has two buttons, really. It's either off or it's cooking. The measurements are easy, 2 cups of rice to 3 parts of water. All right, so the rice is ready. And remember our vegetables. Our vegetables are nice and ready. We have our red cabbage and onions. That's it. Salted. That's it. There isn't anything. By the way, presentation is everything. Presentation is everything. Even if your food is not all that, if you present it well, it will be pleasing to the eyes. So here's what we're going to do now. We're going to now put our rice in this big rice dish here. All right, so now that our rice is on off, I'm gonna flip this lid open. As you can see, it's steaming hot. And here's how I like to do it. I scoop some rice, a good scoop. See our grains, it's not doesn't look like polenta. They're separate grains, and it makes you look like you know how to cook rice. All right, so you spread it in the dish where you will dish it from, and so that's our rice there. And our good friend Timothy is in the mix. And the flavor is just amazing. The aroma is amazing because of our buddy Timothy. All right, so that's how your rice will look. So I like to scoop the rice and then scoop the beans. Then I will just generously mix it like that, This is good stuff, man. Black beans. It's your friend. Very rich. The blacker the bean, the more the nutrients. My friend Dr. Colin Ross taught me about the value of black beans, and since then I fell in love with black beans. So we put the rice, we put the black beans. Now we add more rice. This is our honoree. This is the lady of the hour. Ain't she lovely?
Oh, thank you.
Beat by Sophie. Hey, Sophie.
Hi.
Hey, you made your mama look beautiful. All right, Mr. Seth. Man, I thank you because you took videos of this work. I pray that you will grow up to cook for your wife as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do me a favor. Let me start with the dish that's nearest you. All right, so this is Michael's chicken. This is how it eventually came out. Like we said, gentlemen, presentation. I'm just trying to make it look as pretty as possible. Our onions are shooting in the garden, so I took some of the shoots, and that's mint also from the garden. And And that's how Michael's chicken looks. I think it should taste better than it looks. Okay, thank you, Seth. You can close Michael's chicken at this time. Then we move on to the rice and beans. Lady D, thank you for opening that. So this is our ultimate rice and beans. And like we said, gentlemen, we pulled out all those other twigs of Timothy. So the time you see there is only, what won't offend our honoree. Now Lady D loves to have rice with a gravy or a soup. And I didn't make any, but this is what she made. We had this for lunch yesterday, and there was lots of it left today. So we felt like, you know what, rather than me reinvent the wheel, we're gonna use this onion and tomato gravy or soup that Lady D made. And we're celebrating. So we have a couple of Martinellis and apple ciders. This here is our favorite, actually. It's apple peach, and it's really amazing in taste. All of these are non-alcoholic. This is Martinelli Gold Apple Cider. And then I'm gonna go around you, Lady D. What's up, Sophie? You ready to eat? Okay, so this is how our red cabbage came out with the onions, and then of course we have salad.